Good old parking truck.
Welcome to the opening of the GT2 Championship for ESR.
Hey, everybody!
I am here with my stout commentary partner, Byron.
What's up, bitches?
And, of course, I am Mike
Oh my
Magasevich.
god! Damn, son.
And we get a rare mistake out of Darcy Parkinson as he goes into the wall.
He was down with the sickness on that one.
So, we have a 26-car grid for Suzuka. This is the West course, the short course. And there you see the qualifying grid. Darcy Parkinson will start on the front row from Nikos Papamihail, Sean Kenny, Vinnie Roberts, and Martin Edmonds are your top 5. These are GT2 cars. For those not particularly familiar with them, they're in some ways faster than the GT3s we've been doing a lot of commentating on, hence the upgraded number. But they are older because GT2 racing kind of has gone the way of the dodo bird a little bit, and there's not really new GT2 cars coming out. So, in some ways, they're not necessarily as fast around corners and such. This will be 2 30-minute races today, which we'll be bringing you commentary on both, although we may take a break in between. We will see. And Byron,
all races all the time.
Do you have any questions before this race kicks off?
Do yellow cars just go faster?
If the Corvettes are fast, yes. Because, like, this is the one problem with doing a GT2 series. There is so little color variety. Like,
that doesn't sound like it should even be a thing. I don't understand why there would be a restriction on color.
Like, you've got the Corvettes, and they're all basically black and yellow with 3 exceptions. There's a black one and 2 green and white ones. Then you've got the BMWs, who are almost all, like, silver and white.
Nasty. And here we go.
Go! Come on.
Go now!
Go!
Go now! Go! Get out!
There we go! Need a little bit of a better start sequence there with the red lights.
Yeah. I just gotta... Oh my god!
Whoa.
That guy's already dead.
We got someone
Felipe?
I think that was Felipe, yeah. Looked like the flying lizard Porsche got rear-ended there. Yeah, he's at the back of the pack. It was definitely Felipe.
More like flying roadkill.
Indeed, a little bit on that case. Martin Edmonds going in against Sean Kenny in the yellow Ferrari knockoff. There are 2 knockoff cars in this. There is the P45 competition zone, which is that yellow car currently in 3rd place, the Puma car. It's basically their way of getting a Ferrari in the game without there being a Ferrari in the game, in a nutshell.
That's a pretty good trick.
Also has one of the most freaking confusing cockpits ever. If you ever drive one of them, it feels more like you're driving an airplane.
Well, then it should probably have wings so that it can get up off the track.
It does have wings, but not enough wings to get off the track.
More wings! Make it entirely out of wings.
And there's also another one. You'll see the RUF cars there. They are basically Porsches. Same deal. Before Porsche was willing to let their cars be in Raceroom, they basically created the RUF cars. RUF is not a car manufacturer as such. They are a car tuning company. Martin Evans going out very wide there, losing 4th place to Vinnie Roberts. They're a car tuning company that specializes in retuning Porsches for various purposes.
Interesting.
So, you know, it's a Porsche, rebadges it RUF. And the story with the P45, if you're ready for this, Mr. Byron, is that some eccentric, rich American billionaire, probably, frankly, decided, I want a Ferrari, but I don't want it to look like a Ferrari. I want it to look like this. And Ferrari was like, we can do that.
We can do these things for money. I'd like to point out that Mr. Felipe went from back of the pack to passing 5 people, and he's catching up to number 20 in pretty rapid fashion.
I'm going to guess that is John Barker. B-A-R, could be Barker. By the way, much thanks to the guys who work on the Racing Spectator. You can now have full names as opposed to just the 3 name acronyms.
Daddy legs.
So that helps easily spotting with commentary, because unfortunately the one problem with this system is that it will duplicate. We figured this out in the Zero Racing series a while ago, because we had a guy named Dule Markovic, we had a guy named Mike Mark, we had a guy named Rick Martell, and they all just showed up as MAR.
It's because they're all from Mars.
Pretty much. Oh, a lot of. I'm thinking that all that movement in there is a result of possibly Yevgeny having some connection issues because I feel and Ariel having some connection issues. So I don't think there's any passes actually going on from 22nd to first place, but I could be mistaken.
I mean, it's pretty amazing if that were the thing.
Indeed, Darcy Parkinson's still out front in the BMW from Nikos Papamihail in the Porsche and Sean Kenny in the Ferrari.
Better ingredients, better pitas, Papa Mahal.
The other car not really in contention right now for any of the top spots is the Cadillac. The lone Cadillac is down in 17th place in the hands of Australian Lachlan Nichols.
He's Australian.
He is. He's my teammate. I am part of the Cadillac team, but I was absent from this race. Also on the Cadillac team, Joel Martinez, shout out. And Mr. C, our lead driver.
Goodness gracious.
Mr. C is unfortunately going to be doing a very part-time. That makes Lachlan kind of effectively our lead driver. Which means our lead driver is not even in Division 1, which is a bit disappointing.
Well, maybe if he was a bit faster.
We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
If he tried a little bit harder, I'm sure he could do it.
Lachlan
But I question his commitment.
I do not question his commitment.
I think he's just smoking the drugs all day, out with the kids on the street corner.
You can see what
causing
I mean.
The ruckus.
You can see what I mean in the shot with the two BMWs here, where it's like, okay, we're white, red, blue. That's what we're going to do. We're doing various different combinations, but white's going to be the dominant color all the time.
It sounds very boring. I don't know who came up with these rules. They should be fired.
Yeah, it's the one thing. I know Raceroom is trying to eliminate the not real liveries. I'm not overly certain why. I would, frankly, I would open it up and just be like, send your design ideas in, and you'd probably sell a lot more of these.
I would just let people paint them up however they want. Like, why can't there be like an in-garage customizer?
Because you pay money for the skins.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Corporate greed.
I can see that being.
I mean, they're not much. They're 33 cents Canadian.
Okay, that seems fair.
But yeah, it would be nice if they had like an artwork competition for these particular cars. It would give the grid a little bit more life. Because, like, for example, you see that black Corvette there, the Thrustmaster Corvette driven by Richard DeRoche.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy that one anymore. So, like, even like the ones that aren't yellow and black Corvettes are like slowly being phased out of the game. It's like, it's kind of. I promise not to rant about this all season, but I do really need to bring it out here in the first race. That this is one thing I think Raceroom could improve upon.
Jorgen Walby quickly following up with the other white car.
Indeed.
Oh, little tappy nappy.
That forces John Spriggs out wide, and he's through. Andy Blade is coming through, or I think that's Andy Blade.
You would think that.
Either that or someone else is driving the Lotus-colored Ferrari. Is that Andy Blade? No, that is Gerardo Del Vea. So there is a duplicate of that car then, because Andy Blade also racing in the Lotus-colored Ferrari.
Well, it doesn't have any flower petals on it at all. I don't understand that.
That's the old Lotus Formula 1 team deal with the John Player's special colors.
If Ariel was driving a Lotus, my brain would be going off the rails right now with Limb Lifter with their song Ariel versus Lotus.
There you go.
Although if he was racing somebody in a Lotus, then, I mean, that would also make my brain go crazy.
Vinnie Roberts has worked his way up into third place in the Corvette. He's gotten around Sean Kenny, who has dropped back to fourth place, and also charging through the grid in the Porsche is Vangelos Parginos, the second of the Greek pairing. We ride on board with Gerardo Del Vea in the John Player's special Ferrari, Lotus colored, very, very, very nice looking car. Actually, stands out in the crowd, and he is tucked up in behind Jurgen Walby. Actually, the car running behind him is Andy Blade, who is in the other John Player special Ferrari. So there you go.
I demand them to be extra special editions.
Oh, an interesting thing to note with these cars is that there are actually two different tire compounds for the GT2s. There is a soft compound and a hard compound. Basically, the option there is that the soft compound is faster, pretty much all around. But it will wear much faster. From my experiments at Monza, and obviously different tracks, different ratings, I got about 3 times the tire life out of a set of hards that I got out of a set of softs. So if the softs, for example, were going to last an optimal ability for, like, let's say 5 minutes, you'd get 15 minutes out of the hards, but they'd be slower.
What they need to do is combine the two into different layers, and it would be like a Snickers bar with different ingredients.
Would have gone with a different chocolate bar. Like,
you would.
What bar?
Like a Kit Kat?
What bar is this tire?
What? Steve!
Actually, Kit Kat would be a perfect example, actually.
Yeah. If anybody enjoys pro wrestling but doesn't enjoy our commentary, you should definitely listen to the OSW review.
Indeed.
I can't believe it took me like 5 episodes to figure out that 2 of them are named Steve. So yeah. Jay Hunter could literally just go Steve anytime he wants.
Pretty much. Both OOC and the one are both Steve.
I would do that all the time. Hey, Steve!
Martin Edmonds putting the pressure on Vangelis Parginos, BMW versus Porsche, a classic rivalry.
I believe we should refer to him as Van Halen Parthenon from now on.
And Jurgen Walby is tucked up behind Yevgeny Lazarenko in a battle for 2nd. 12th. It's an all BMW fight.
Indeed.
And Gerardo Del Veo, the great rival of Martin Edmonds. If you've not checked out the Martin Edmonds interview on our podcast with no name that was uploaded yesterday, please do.
I checked out about half of it, and then you guys start talking about standings and stuff, things that I don't really follow.
You could have continued watching and watched Mr. C bully me on track for a little.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna have to report him, I guess. Reported, account banned.
It's perfectly fine. I was raised with a much more verbally abusive father.
Probably.
We're Slavs. We do what we want.
You squat. You don't do what you want. You squat all the time in Adidas tracksuits. That's all you do.
Well, no. Depends on which Slavs we are. It's not always Adidas.
Whoa, Puma.
The Serbs are Adidas. Croatians are Reebok.
Ooh, what about Puma? Is that Montenegro?
Slovenians.
Ooh, exotic.
Martin Edmonds still putting the pressure on Vangelis Parginos. They seem to be closing up.
Oh, that guy's dead. They're all dead.
Jurgen Walby and Yevgeny Lazarenko hard off the track at the chicane. That's going to mess things up a lot. Looks like actually Yevgeny has managed to rejoin in reasonable positions, actually. But yeah, Martin Edmonds really putting the pressure on Vangelis Parginos, and they are being caught by Guillaume Brisset in the additional BMW there in 7th position. I believe Guillermo is also the Division 2 leader at the moment. Division 3 being led by Jesse Hampton, I believe, down in 20th position.
Hamptown Races, sing this song, doo-da, doo-da.
Lachlan Nichols putting the pressure on Andy Blade.
We're going to test that tensile strength.
It's going to be Ferrari versus Cadillac. I suppose we should ask the standard question that usually comes up with you, Byron, is which of these cars, knowing nothing about their relative performance capacity, which of these cars is your favorite?
Well, I do like the look of the one that Andy's driving, but I would have to say whatever tie-dyed monstrosity that went in the wall back there, that's going to be the better paint job.
Yevgeny's car.
That's the best paint job, I think. I don't know if it's the best car. The France car up front here, not really a fan. It's too fat. Looks like somebody stepped on a beetle. Yeah, I would have to say that it's probably the Black Lotus looking motherfucker that you were pointing out earlier. Those two look the best. Although the Puma yellow car up there, that looks pretty saucy as well.
Okay, so you're a fan of it seems like you're more a fan of the Ferraris than anything else, and you also like the BMW Rainbow car.
Yeah, well, just the paint job. I don't know. The car itself looked pretty standard. Looked almost like somebody stretched a Honda Civic, and that's fine, I guess, if that's what you're into.
John Barker appears to be recovering from a light off, and he's got Felipe Fejea in the Flying Lizard car behind him, so Good comeback from Felipe.
Yeah, he's really climbing up there.
Yeah, who has come from last place back to 16th position.
Still chasing...
Although it looks like he's gone off the track again, actually.
Yeah. Still chasing Barker. Barker seems to be having even a better race.
John Barker having a pretty solid day in 15th position. We ride with Guillermo Brisset.
Oh, Le Guillaume!
And he is trying to put the pressure on Martin Edmonds, who's dropped a little bit off the back of Greek racer Van Hellas Parginos. We've got about a little bit over half the race to go. Darcy Parkinson has led the whole way from Nikos Papamichael. Vinnie Roberts is in third right now after briefly being in fourth behind Sean Kenny, or Keeney, of the exact pronunciation on that matter. Gerardo Del Valle putting the pressure on the car of Visar Gicogli, our Albanian driver in the BMW.
The Albanian Nightmare.
And the car directly ahead of them is the Corvette of Lucas Milewski. Not actually sure what division Lucas is in. Haven't really had the pleasure of racing with him much. So, hey Lucas, if you ever want to go head-to-head, I'm game.
Could I recommend that Guillaume Brisset be referred to as either Guillaume the Guillotine Brisset or Guillaume the Brisket Brisset, although brisket might make people hungry.
I'm kind of in favor of the brisket.
Indeed, it's very tasty.
Just as a general note, there is one turn on here that's pretty damn famous, and it's interesting with this layout. It's the first turn on the track from where the lap starts.
Whoa.
And it's basically full throttle. And I'm honestly surprised there wasn't more carnage at turn one in the start there, because I think that's a terrible idea.
I'm always in favor of carnage at turn one. That car right there, the Puma machine, that looks pretty cool. Looks like it got stepped on, but in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Sean Kenny under a little bit of pressure from Vangelis Parginos, and Brisset putting the pressure on Martin Edmonds, the real Frenchman versus the Canadian Frenchman.
He is Le Canadien.
The Canadian is.
Oh.
And that's the battle for 6th position between the two BMWs. And first of the looks like someone was off at the corner there. Yeah, one of the Corvette. Oh, was it Vinnie Roberts? It was not Vinnie Roberts. It's someone falling a lap down. Actually, I believe that's Ariel Zatoni having a bit of a problem and slipping off the lead lap.
Ariel, the isotoner Zatoni.
I believe, have potentially lost Jurgen Wolby and Yevgeny Lazarenko in the race. We saw them have it.
Sorry, I'm having a pit stop.
And are now multiple laps down. Possibly we've also lost James Butler, perhaps. Andy Blade looking to make a move on the car of John Barker, who I think recently just got past Andy Blade, so the pressure is on there. And they've got the Corvette of Joe Racer in the mix as well.
Here comes Joe Racer. He's a racer named Joe.
Yes.
Indeed.
Shout out to Joe Racer, doing really well in the Silver Cup in Zero Racing. 2nd place at the moment.
Ooh.
No one, however, has been able to match the might of Simeon Naku.
He's obviously cheating.
I think he's just a really good driver.
That's also probably accurate, yes.
Gerardo Del Valle looking to make a move here on Visar Gincoli for 11th place, just outside the top 10. And, this is the turn I'm talking about here, right here. This is basically full throttle.
As we cut away.
As we cut away from that, although I would say cutting away for a reasonable reason, Nikos Papamichael is cutting into the lead of Darcy Parkinson quite significantly. And of course, we have the question here. Unfortunately, we don't have the tire statuses turned on, which you can do with the spectator mode now, so we'll be doing that in the future, certainly.
Daddy legs.
To see who's on hard tires, who's on the soft tires, and as a result, who's going to get stronger as the race goes on. By the way, someone has spun. I think it's Martin Edmonds, who was facing the wrong way. He's dropping spots. Looks like he's moving again, but he's lost spots to Brisset, Richard DeRoche, and John Spriggs, dropping him down to 9th position. So something occurring for Martin Edmonds. I don't know if that was a contact with another car or just a driving error. John Pachea has now fallen off of the lead lap.
Probably what happened is his poutine fell off the dash and all over him, and so he had to, slow down a little bit, clean that up.
It might be. And just because Mr. C demands it, Martin, you're a traitor for playing Forza Motorsport.
Oh, snap.
He claims he didn't do it. He claims he did not do it, but we don't believe him.
It's alright, Martin. You can come play Ghost Recon with me.
Oh, that's just rewarding treacherous behavior.
Well, yeah.
Nikos Papamihail is actually right on the tail of Darcy Parkinson now. So Darcy is under pressure, I would say, for really the first time in this race.
They've been pretty close. I mean, like a second and a half is the most they've been apart that I've seen.
I think you have to get it down to about a half second before, like, the guy in front of you is really feeling that pressure.
I guess, yeah.
Like, one turn could make a difference, and he's right past you without even, like a little mistake could cost you the lead as opposed to requiring something major. Does
Nico's car say giraffes and blondes on it?
It's a French cigarette company.
I don't. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and not believe that because I've been on the internet too long.
No,
and I want to know what kind of crazy freak website this guy's running. And do you need a membership to sign up?
And how much?
Yeah, what's the monthly fee on that one?
Up in front of the battle for the lead, he's through! He's through! Nikos Papamihail is into the lead. And they are now making their way through some traffic of Lachlan Nichols and Andy Unayaki. Probably butchering that name still, am I not?
No, I think that's probably right, Unayaki.
So, Andy, hit me up. Tell me if that's right or not. So Darcy Parkinson down to second place. What can he do? And of course the question here, we go back to the tires deal, is that the soft tires, if you've elected to start on those at this point, would generally, I think, be very much tailing off. Whereas the hard tires, slower in the early race, are still pretty grippy at this point. So that could be playing a role in some cars maybe falling back. Maybe they were on the softs, thinking they could go full race distance on the softs, which I don't really think you can. I was doing some tire tests at Monza, which was for the second round of the series, and I did figure out that the soft tires would take about 102% damage over the course of the race, meaning that they definitely would disintegrate. So here it'd be about, call it 50%, and the tires start to lose their maximum efficiency around 70%. So definitely they'd be dropping off. Gerardo Del Valle making a move there into the top 10. There's a whole heaping thing going on here.
That guy's dead.
There are some lapped cars involved in this, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Again, that is the problem with the somewhat limited livery count. But Vangelis Parginos is up, was briefly up into fourth place, but it appears he's not now. Still trailing Sean Kenny. And he's also got the car of... Oh, it's Vinnie Roberts has fallen back. Okay, so Sean Kenny's up to third. Vangelis is up to fourth, and Vinnie Roberts has slipped off the podium back to fifth place. He in the Corvette there.
I understand that he actually refers to a more formal mode of address. He should be known as Jonathan Kenneth.
Jonathan Kenneth? I'm fine with that. And Vinnie Roberts back up past Vangelis Parginos into fourth position. And they have... Nikos Papamihail at some point has lost the lead. He's back in second place and right in front of this group. So... And dropping back now. I feel like he may have been on those soft tires I was talking about. Oh no, he's lost his front end. That's the problem.
That's an issue, yeah.
You don't really want to pit for damage in a sprint race. It's a little bit short, but it looks like he has gone down into the pit lane to try to repair his damaged Porsche.
I know when I lose my front end, it's a bad day.
So that has put Darcy Parkinson back in the league from Sean Kenny, Vinnie Roberts, Vangelis Parginos, Guillermo Brisset, Richard DeRoche, John Spriggs, Martin Edmonds, Gerardo Del Valle, and Lucas Molesky, your top 10. We ride with Visar Gincoli, who is in 11th position. Vinnie Roberts trying to turn the pressure up. Vinnie is a ridiculously fast driver, so I'm interested to see if he can make a late run here. His early on performance suggests to me that he is on the harder compound tires, and thus may be benefiting more from the tires at this point.
Is there an even softer tire you can put on there that is effectively just pillows duct tape to your rims?
I'm not sure that would really work out all that well.
But they'd be super soft.
There may be a point of too soft.
My goodness. It's just ballistic gelatin poured in place.
It looks like Nikos Papamihail is still in the pit lane as he is still dropping back, so major repairs for the Porsche. Wesley Stokes in a fight with Jesse Hampton over 16th position. Hampton is, I believe, the Division 3 leader in this particular race. I do like that blue Porsche, actually. It stands out at least.
This is true. It is the sweet car.
It needs more yellow to be sweet.
It's mostly blue. Partially yellow.
It's got a little black.
Racist.
Andy Blade, currently on the tail of Joe Racer. Green and white Corvette, which stands out because all the other ones are yellow and black. And he is in a Corvette sandwich as he is being chased by... Oh, no, that is a lapped Corvette behind him, so that's not relevant. Or a lapping Corvette. Could be Vinnie Roberts coming through, actually. We're back with one of the Greek freaks, Vangelis Pargenos. He's running ahead of Brisset, and behind the last podium fit car of Vinnie Roberts in the Corvette, Lachlan Nichols getting out of the way in the Cadillac.
There's a Puma on the track. Oh god, everybody get down.
Yeah, indeed. Meantime, Darcy Parkinson is enjoying a roughly 5-second lead out of the front of the pack. But a pretty rough fight going on here for second, third, fourth, and fifth position.
On the Puma tip, have you seen the Puma that got adopted by a Russian couple?
Yes, I saw that.
It's magnificent. I want one. I found a new group of photos on Imager the other day, and there's one of them just like this dude in bed and the cat snuggled underneath the covers with him, just passed right the fuck out. I'm like, I need that in my life.
One of the BMWs was off at the side of the road there, the yellow BMW. Not sure who is driving that one. Looked like a lapped car.
I believe that was Dave.
A lot of good fights going on through the grid. Spectacular action so far today. Up to Lachlan Nichols are now down a lap. You can see him there in the Cadillac getting out of there.
I think you just like rubbing that in. You like mentioning him every single time somebody passes.
Oh, he's on the screen. Calling the action as it happens.
It's so mean, just because he's from Australia.
Oh, no, it's because he owes me a bumper still.
Oh yeah, that would be a thing. Bumper tax.
Also, he stole the car I wanted, because that Cadillac is a Canadian driver. I'm like, yeah, obvious answer. There's an Australian Cadillac and there's a Canadian Cadillac. Why is the Canadian driving the Aussie car and the Aussie in the Canadian car?
I don't know why you're questioning this at all. I mean, he is the son of criminals.
I mean, you got a point there. Descended from convicts.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Edmonds putting the pressure on John Spriggs there for 7th place, and we now pick up the action here in the battle for 3rd between Vinnie Roberts, Vangelis Pargenos, and Guillermo Brisset in the Corvette Porsche BMW fight. The lead at the front is starting to close, so perhaps Darcy Parkinson's tires going off a little bit, but there's not a lot of time remaining in the race. I think he'll be okay. And on the Flying Lizard, Felipe Fejea, watch, he's up to 18th place after his second accident of the day.
He is cursed.
He's still running on the lead lap.
Well, Papamihail is like a minute and a half back now. Dang.
Yeah, he had to pit for the damage, and he's back out there, but he is now a lap down. That's a big thing for the championship, because you got to think Nikos Papamihail is one of the primary contenders for this title.
I mean, I would think that, but I wouldn't really know if I was being accurate about thinking that.
Especially with the absence of Taha Mali, who is not here today.
Wow. What a quitter.
Who is, of course, the man who is battling with the Greek duo for the Enduro Cup right now. That action resumes at the last Saturday of February.
Are we going to do live commentary on that one?
We are. That is the plan.
I will sprint home after work then.
and we also have, we may have a working ability to share my screen, and that way I can command the race director, and you will see exactly what I am seeing.
That sounds appealing.
We just have to test if the whole plug-in thing, courtesy of Martin Edmonds, actually is going to work on the matter. It looks like Richard DeRoche has moved into the top 5. He got past Brisset at some point, so good work by the Thrustmaster Corvette. A car that I wish I could purchase because I have a Thrustmaster wheel. And Darcy Parkinson is off! The race leader is off the track! And that has inherited the lead to Sean Kenny in the Puma Ferrari.
He gone.
He has now got Vinnie Roberts, Van Hellas Pargenis right on his tail. This is going to be a fine shootout to the final, I think, here on the last lap. Darcy has rejoined the track in... Oh! Okay, that's someone letting through on the lap. I thought that was Vinnie Roberts going up wide. That is not the case. Darcy has rejoined in 4th place, so still on for a solid result. But race victory has been snatched from the job... And Lachlan Nichols goes around there in the Cadillac.
Damn it, Lachlan. Stealing cars, obstructing traffic. What further criminal nefariousness are you capable of?
Finishing in 20th place.
Yeah, I guess that's up there.
It looks like Sean Kenny's actually making a break for it, so it looks like Ferrari is going to get a win here today. 30 seconds on the clock. He is up by 2.5 seconds over Vinnie Roberts and the Porsche of Vangelis Pargenos. Darcy Parkinson rejoining in 4th place ahead of Richard DeRoche, Brisset, Spriggs, Edmonds, Delvea, and Milewski, who's had a pretty quiet day, but a top 10 result for the Polish Corvette driver by the looks of it. Solid outing. Your leader for Division 2 is still Brisset, and your leader for Division 3 is still the 18th place car of Jesse Hampton, who has lost a spot to Felipe Ferreira, who's still climbing.
He can do it. Late rally. You can make up almost a minute worth of time.
Unlikely.
Jeez, you're so negative.
We're coming down to the final here. It'll be across the finish line, and that will be the end of the race. Sean Kenny, I do believe, has got the victory from Vinnie Roberts and Vangelis Pargenos. Indeed, it is the checkered flag is up, and it's going to be Martin Edmonds versus John Spriggs to the line for 7th place. Can he get the job done? And we've cut to another battle that we're not getting. It's John Barker putting the pressure on Joe Racer. I don't think he really has enough time to get around this. Andy Blade has cleared Joe Racer, though. It is up to 13th place. Congratulations to the Blade. And we're basically just waiting for the cars to finish. It looks like a number have already finished, probably about the top 10 already through. The start-finish line is just ahead of these cars. That's one thing Racing Spectator can use is give me a little checkered flag beside the name to show who's finished.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
John Barker coming across the line for 15th place. There is the man we were talking about, the Flying Lizard, Felipe Ferreira.
He's the Lizard King.
Little damage, but it looks like he's going to bring it home in 17th position, though Jesse Hampton is still... No, wait, but that's not Jesse Hampton directly behind him. So yeah, he'll bring it home. Nikos Papamihail brings home a 19th place finish. Could have been a race victory for him, so you got a feel for the Greek. But Sean Kenny, kind of out of nowhere, not really in the permutations for a race win here, is the man of the hour, or of the half hour, I suppose. Taking victory here in the opening round of the GT2 Championship, and we're going to race 2. This is, I believe, a reverse grid race, which could be interesting. I don't recall how far the reverse grid goes, but we will know by who's on pole. And
correct.
That does mean that some of the faster guys are going to have to make their way through the field. That is always a bit interesting.
My question is, how many different GTs are there? We got GT2 and 3.
There is 1 through 4. And then there is also GTE.
Whoa.
Which has kind of replaced GT2.
Is it environmental?
I don't actually know what it stands for.
Energetic?
No. That's
entertainment.
They are entertaining. Yevgeny Lazarenko bringing up the rear. Martin Edmonds is on pole, so I think it's top 8 reverse grid. So Martin Edmonds and John Spriggs are up at the front. Chance for them to get some major victory here. And we are off. Watch into this first turn because it will be potentially ugly. Yevgeny Lazarenko with a very good start, actually. He's already up in third position. Will we have carnage in the first corner? Looks like we had maybe a little bit, but not too much.
Hey!
Oh! Guillermo Brisset has reversed John Spriggs, who is dropping way back. A chance for major points for Spriggs is out the door. In the meantime, our race one winner, Sean Kenny, is up to 6th position. And the man to look out for is the man currently in 3rd place, Darcy Parkinson. He could have won race 1 and was robbed by a late spin.
Pit maneuver.
Gerardo Delvea had a great start as well. He's up to 7th position. And another fantastic start from 17th on the grid to 12th in the race, Felipe Fajea. Who is off the track and going down now. Cast his curse for Felipe.
We're trying to cheer for you, and you're letting us down.
Indeed, Felipe a major crowd favorite. In the meantime, Martin Edmonds is leading for Brisset, Parkinson, Pargenos, Roberts, Kenny, Delvea, Spriggs, Gincoli, and Andy Blade is at the top 10!
Oh my god. He must have had only like 17 beers instead of like 90.
Indeed. In the meantime, at the front, it's 1-2-3 BMW. Have to wonder how long it'll last, though. Martin Edmonds resuming his battle with Brisset that was pretty much ongoing for 5th and 6th place during the race 1 until Martin unfortunately had that spin and fell back. Looks like there's some carnage going on at the back there. Lucas Milewski dropping back. Lucas Milewski may be the biggest loser off the start. And I don't mean that as you're a loser, but you have dropped from 10th place on the grid to 22nd in the race.
It's not always good.
So definitely some carnage there for him, I think. I think we can safely assume. Although maybe your big winner and underreported story, we mentioned him earlier, but Yevgeny Lazarenko started in dead last position. He is up to 18th. Make that 17th as he makes the move on Andy Uniacki. Vinny Roberts looking to make a move on Vangelos Pargenos for 4th position. Edmonds still in the lead, but being pressed very hard by Brisset, and the danger man is in the black and red BMW. That is Darcy Parkinson going off the track and just kind of ruining my point. Thank you, Darcy.
I think Darcy is drunk as hell. He's drunk as hell, and he's not going to take it anymore.
Brisset is putting the pressure on Martin Edmonds. And it's still Parkinson in 3rd place despite the off, followed by Vinny Roberts, who has gotten past the Greek driver Pargenos. Sean Kenny, race 1 winners, in 6th place ahead of Gerardo Delvea. Oh, is that the move for the lead? Go back to the fight for the lead, cameraman. It looks like Brisset did get through. Brisset is now your leader. Division 2 in the lead of the race, everybody.
The guillotine strikes.
Guillotine brisket. Buy the 2.
You could, and I definitely would chop mine up that way.
Unfortunately, Mr. Brisset, your nickname is now established, Guillotine Brisket. There's not really anything you can do about it.
Although we do accept bribes.
A man currently on the move, well, 2 men currently on the move are the 12th and 13th place cars, Nikos Papamihail and Jürgen Walby. Both of them had problems in race 1 and had to start further back in the grid. They are making their way through nicely. But it is still 1-2-3 BMW at the front, with Vinny Roberts' Corvette as the best of the rest at the moment.
The best around.
On the Cadillac watch, where is my Cadillac brethren? Lachlan Nichols.
They're dead.
I don't see him, actually. It looks
they all died.
Yeah, it looks like the Cadillac has not made the grid for race 2, so no caddies out there at the moment.
We had them murdered.
Darcy Parkinson putting the pressure on Martin Edmonds. The battle for top Canadian supremacy, top Division 1 supremacy in this race is on.
Give him the pit maneuver. Worked last time.
So it looks like we do have the tire indicators on the right there. There are yellow and orange.
Yeah, I see.
I don't know which one is the hard one, though. Can you make that up?
Not really.
All right, something to look at when we do the Monza commentary, because at least if I pop on the screen, I know what tires I'm in. So that will tell us.
It does look like there's supposed to be a logo on there. I just can't make out what it is.
Mm-hmm. So it does look like the indicator is on. It's just unfortunately not on the standings on the side. It's on the actual driver card. Martin Edmonds losing a spot there to Darcy Parkinson. I think Vinnie Roberts is coming through, and that's just a matter of time. Indeed, that is the case.
Yoink.
Roberts is through. Brisset is still leading. Behind this, it's Pargelos, pardon me, battling with Sean Kenny. Little contact there with them. Delvea is in the mix there, along with Spriggs. And also Visar Jacoli having a good second race in 9th position there. He is in the 1 BMW there. A little bit of contact there between the Albanian and Spriggs. Kenny has lost the spot to Delvea, who's coming back through the grid. And on the Papa Mihail and Walby match, watch, they're about 10 seconds off the lead and still in and now making their way past Richard DeRoche. Walby actually just jumped Papa Mihail there, so I wish we had gotten a view of that. Ariel Zatoni rounding off the top 10 at the moment, but I believe that will just be temporary.
Visar the Viscount Jacoli. Gerardo makes me want spaghetti Duvalli.
Indeed, the Mexican.
Yeah, I don't know why. Gerardo, to me, sounds Italian. And I know that that's a Mexican flag, so he's not Italian. Mm-hmm. But I don't care. My brain doesn't really make distinctions like that.
We don't question your thought process.
Excellent. I did make chili. I got chili in the pot right now, so if that makes up for it.
It looks like Nico's Papa Mihail has run into trouble again. He's back down in 19th position. So,
did he not pay for his gas?
So another off for Nico's Papa Mihail. He's on the tail of the Flying Lizard, Felipe Fejea. Another bit of a hard-luck case there. Porsche having the worst of the bad luck here today.
I was going to say that with Papa Mihail doing crazy shit like he's been doing, and Felipe crashing into shit nonstop, that's just a combo that's going to go wrong.
Possibly terribly wrong. I foresee a car on its roof.
I foresee a car on the roof of another car, upside down.
Indeed.
Top Gun style.
Indeed.
We call you the Porsche insulter.
Van Hellas Pargenos is leading up a little bit of a train here. It involves the two Ferraris of Gerardo Delveo, championship leader Sean Kenny, and the BMW of John Spriggs. Visar Jacoli's fallen a little bit off the back of his pack. And you can see Jurgen Walby still trying to make his way through the grid there. He's in 11th place behind Ariel Zatoni for the moment. I think he'll get through before the end of this, though. We're about the 1/3 distance.
You can do it. I believe in you. Most of you. Some of you. A few of you.
I believe it. We believe in all of them. Right?
I believe that they exist.
It's true. And that's half the battle. A little bit of problem there on the exit there from Sean Kenny. He'll drop off the back of this one. A little bit of a disappointing race for Sean so far after the race 1 win that kind of, not too understated, but kind of fell into his lap when Parkinson lost control of the car. Parkinson, by the way, is within a second of Brisset. The Guillotine may be losing that lead relatively shortly.
I disagree, just to be contrarian.
That's fine.
Hooray!
Will Delvea make his move here? No, he tucks back in. It's hard to make a move into that turn because you're going at such a rapid speed. It's very dangerous to make the move, and additionally on top of that, when you pull yourself out of the slipstream of the car ahead of you, you are just hitting that wave of air that will slow you down, and Jurgen Walby up into the top 10 having made his move on Ariel Zatoni. He's making a comeback. Division 1 leader is Parkinson, Division 2 Brisset, Division 3 is, I believe, Jesse Hampton, who's running in a pretty solid 15th position. Our fans will, of course, be wanting to know the Andy Blade situation. He is in 13th position at the moment.
Boo! Boo! He sucks.
Kenny,
I'm sure he's doing well.
Sean Kenny under massive pressure from John Spriggs. So Sean Kenny not quite having the pace that he had in race 1. Could be a setup change that has gone the wrong direction for him. Martin Edmonds still running in 4th place. That's good on Martin. And it looks like we've changed the timing here to the relative timing. Because the gaps are... no, that can't be. I think it's actually more just that Vinnie Roberts maybe has a lag issue. Because if he's 51 seconds off the lead, he should be down in last place, not 3rd.
No, that's just how far ahead the top 2 are. That's all there is to it.
Is that it? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Gerardo Del Vea, who, no offense, Gerardo, I've come to associate that car with Andy Blade. I may confuse you for Andy Blade at various points.
Just because they're both black? Come on, man. This is 2019.
They are literally the same car.
It's 2019. You can't just assume because people have the same color that they're the same person. Sir.
It is literally the same car.
You can't just assume things based on color.
The gap at the lead is down to 0.6 of a second, so it's closing about 0.2 a lap. I think we'll see a lead change in possibly now. Actually, that gap is closing a lot. Darcy might be making his move right now. Go to the fight. Thank you, Darcy Parkinson to the lead.
Allegedly. Well, that looks pretty solid.
It was a great effort from Guillotine Brisket to try to take the win for Division 2. He may still have it. I mean, we saw Darcy spin off in the lead in race 1, so would that not be terrible if Darcy were to make the same mistake again at the same corner?
Correct. Oh, a little wobbly, a little snaky.
Little wobble there from the Guillotine as he's got Vinnie Roberts on his tail in the Corvette.
Vinny, don't call me Jones Roberts.
Indeed. Or maybe he wants to be called Vinnie Jones.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Bullet Tooth Vinny.
Bullet Tooth Vinny, indeed.
We could call him Susan if it makes him happy.
It makes you happy. What about Tony? He'll find you Moses in a burning bush if you ask him to.
What do they call it? Boris the Bullet.
How fast can you find a mad? It depends on the equation. How many are there? 50,000. Passes the photos.
Tony, look at the dog. I mean, look at the dog.
What do you look at the dog?
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
My personal favorite Tony moment is without a doubt is like we'll never find him. He's hard as the Soviet hammer and as crooked as the sickle that it hits. He's a deep undercover agent. We'll never find him.
And he walks by with a tea cozy on his head.
No. It's then the daughters phone up from below. It's like, yes, Dad. There's a strange man here trying to sell us a diamond. What does he look like? I don't know, but he speaks with a strange accent.
All right, the tea cozy was later.
Yeah, that was later on after they'd found him. Snatch. It's a great movie.
Come from behind you.
We're in reverse, Tyrone. Things come from behind you.
Tyrone's a great driver, aren't you, Tyrone?
Of course I am. He did a rally course. Of course I am. Alright, we don't know if the yellow is the hard or the soft, but if we can get a look at Darcy's tires, we can at least tell them if they're the same. I guess. Probably should have gone with more different. Sean Kenny losing another position, or not. John Spriggs may have overplayed his hand there and went very off the track.
You gotta know when to hold them, know when to give them the pit maneuver, and know when to run.
Sean Kenny just doesn't, after having, we've kind of said that he kind of lucked into the first race win, but he had definitively top 5, top 3 speed, and he just doesn't seem to have it here.
Might have just mentally exhausted himself being awesome in one race.
Could be.
Happens to me sometimes.
It does.
Not often, but sometimes.
I mean, you are a pile of mental fortitude, but every so often it does crack.
Every now and again, you have that one game in World of Tanks that blows your own mind, and you're like, I can't play right now, but I will, and then you shit the bed.
Usually it involves an E25 capping a circle for no one being able to figure out where you're going.
That was very spectacular and hilarious. I can't believe that fucking worked. I can't believe it worked because I can't believe no one else tried it after watching it be used very successfully in a Pro League game.
Hey, it worked for us in a Pro League game.
Yeah. It's so weird. Say, who's got an E25? I do. How's your German crew? You wouldn't believe.
You would not believe. Vinnie Roberts up into second place. He has overtaken the Guillotine. Although his gap suggests that he's 2 to 1.5 minutes behind the leaders. So I don't really know what to make of that.
Darcy's just so fucking fast.
He is very fast. Here is the battle, though, between the Guillotine and Vinnie Roberts for second place. And indeed, they have actually really lost Darcy Parkinson. They have lost the black and red BMW at the front of the pack.
Going up around the bend.
ESR Championship and Jürgen Walby are the next two to try. Race 1 winner and championship leader Sean Kinney. The pressure is on there. And further back it is the John Springs, who is in 10th position, having recovered from his off. Martin Edmonds still in 4th place ahead of Vangelis Parginos and Gerardo Del Valle. Those two are coming up on him very quickly. We ride with Jürgen Walby, the 9th place car. Very fast driver, had some misfortune in race 1 and has been kind of making his way through the grid ever since.
Would like to point out that Mr. Andrew Bladenstein is up to 12th, and Mr. Yevgeny, the super communist Lazarenko, is up to 13th.
Indeed, battle between
and it looks like they're fighting it out.
Yeah, a classic rivalry: Andy Blade versus Yevgeny Lazarenko. Nikos Papi-Mihail is up to 17th, and is actually still behind. And as I say that, they're fighting Felipe Fajea.
Go Felipe.
And it looks like Papi-Mihail may have gone off because he's just lost a spot to Cristiano Pinheiro and has dropped to 18th position. So Gerardo Del Valle having a fantastic second race. Currently following... whoa, that was a little weird there. Vangelis Parginos losing control of the car and losing 5th position to Del Valle. Next out online is... We saw it on the podcast, everybody. The great rivalry of Martin Edmonds and Gerardo Del Valle is back on in a battle for 4th position. And Vangelis Parginos gets front row seats.
Giggity. We'll sell you the whole front row seat, but you're only going to need the edge.
Speaking of Lazarenko and Blade, they are side by side.
I don't think that's true, because I don't think Blade's anywhere near... Oh, there he is. Oh, no, that's the other guy.
That's Gerardo. All over the back of Martin Edmonds. We've got a lot of the classic ESR rivalries going head-to-head right now. In the meantime, Jürgen Walby has overtaken Visar Jukoli for 8th position. And Lazarenko has made it stick against Andy Blade.
Stick it right in his nose.
That being
Darcy.
12th position.
Darcy Parkinson currently 15 laps ahead. I'm sure that 16 laps ahead. My goodness, he is so fast.
My goodness, just
my
destroying
God.
the field.
Somebody check him for hacks.
It looks like we have lost Ariel Zattoni over the course of this race, and possibly John Pacheco. Bad luck for the Corvette team. Del Valle putting the pressure on the Fanatic car of Martin Edmonds. Kind of fitting that Martin is rocking the Fanatic car. He has a Thrustmaster wheel, for those who are unaware, but he does hope to get a Fanatic wheel at some point in the relatively near future. So,
all sold out, not possible.
Well, they'll make one for Martin. Make a special one that has a guide written on the side of it as to how to preserve your tires.
Is it gonna have like a furry, bright pink fucking steering wheel cover?
Maybe.
It's got to be extra furry, like 3-inch fur.
And they are pretty much side by side. Edmonds versus Delvea. And this could just really play into the hands of Vangelis Parginos at this point.
Well, if he plays his curling right, he can hit one onto the other and just go.
It's true. A little bump to pass. Which we'll be seeing some of in the Academy Cup with the Audi TTs. Because if you watch the podcast, you can bump to pass in them actually pretty hard.
Giggity. Nothing wrong with some bump and grind.
Depends on the car. So
Just put a big old bush bumper on your Ferrari, get out there and fucking put people in the wall.
Delvea has gotten up into 4th place, so the 1-2-3 BMW run is over, but they still got 3 in the top 5. That's pretty impressive.
I think that's the one thing this game lacks is you don't have any gun racks and you don't have any fucking bush bumpers.
John Spriggs putting the pressure on Visar Giacoli for 9th place there in a battle of 2 relatively identical BMWs. So, interesting enough, Vangelis is on the orange tires. We have not decided if those are the hards or the softs yet. But he is on different tires to Martin Edmonds, and that may play a role here.
S-A-W-F-T. Swaft.
Indeed. Jürgen Walby putting the pressure on Sean Kenny. This battle's been going on a while, kind of low-key. Sean has held him off for now. He's found a bit of that reserve we were talking about with the Fortitude. And, we kind of thought that Guillotine Brisket would fall back. But he's still all over the back of Vinnie Roberts here to battle for 2nd place, and they've closed up significantly on Darcy Parkinson. Has Darcy made another mistake well in the lead?
All things are possible in the fullness of time, but he is 18 laps ahead of everybody, so I doubt it.
True. John Spriggs putting the pressure on Visar Giacoli. Are these actually literally the same car? I gotta get a look at the number when they go past.
Pretty friggin' close. One's got a different colored spoiler.
78 and... Yeah, they're either teammates or the exact same car.
There's a red spoiler and a white spoiler, and other than that, they're the same.
So they're teammate cars as opposed to the same car, alright.
Get him, Guillaume!
Pressure is on here in the battle of BMW teammates Giacoli versus Spriggs. Spriggs having kind of a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, he started on the front row in this race. I was kind of hoping for a bit better result for him, but
well, he's just garbage. Horrible.
Martin Edmonds not able to come back at Gerardo Delvea at the moment. He's probably still more worried about and Sean Kenny under immense pressure from Jürgen Walby. Or Jorgen, pardon me.
Waiting for somebody to literally sign up as Ricky Bobby.
It's already been done.
Well, and I'm not interested anymore. It's not cool. Don't do it. Darcy Parkinson currently 19 laps ahead of every single person in this field. Amazing.
I mean, you could add a personal touch to it and sign up as Byron Bobby.
It's not the same.
It's a bit of a classic first name.
We'll sign up as Unicron 5000.
Yevgeny Lazarenko has lost a spot to Andy Blade and is back on the attack against the John Player special Lotus-colored car. And behind them is Jesse Hampton, Division 3 leader. Arjudos still kind of biding his time here. You kind of feel like he is faster than 2 cars ahead of him and might be waiting a little bit too long. We've only got about 6 minutes to go in this race, which, I mean, that's a couple of laps, but make his move soon. Sean Kenny's opened up a little bit of a gap back to Jürgen Walby, so he's safe-ish in 7th for now. Although he is still under immense pressure from the BMW. And in fact, I think Walby got through. As we were watching this, I believe Jürgen Walby has taken 7th place off of championship leader Sean Kenny.
My goodness. I didn't know Wallabies could go that fast.
Martin Edmonds back on the attack against Gerardo Del Vea, looking to get that spot back.
Get them cones. Cones are worth extra points. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, you know the secret to why the cones are still standing?
Because fucking Waz isn't here?
Yeah, exactly.
That maniac.
He would find a way to create a GT2 Camaro.
I'd like to send a special shout out to Vinny, who said nice things to me, and you in particular in the chat.
He did.
We appreciate the appreciation, but we appreciate liquor and money more. So, I mean, just putting that out there.
We do. It's just not incorrect. Or money for headsets. Because the running joke is I always need one.
Well, I mean, you've only got 17.
I do not have 17.
I think you need 17.
Probably do.
Like, oh, I can't play video games for another 3 hours. Gotta charge my headset, guys. I can't come out and play. Sorry.
Well, no. The problem with that is more that unfortunately the headset plug on this particular PC is a little bit janky. So otherwise, I could totally just have a wired one standing by to replace the wireless. Actually, I have a USB one. What am I thinking? I need to start using that.
I don't know. Isn't that the one that sounds like absolute dick?
It does.
Jesus.
But the headphones themselves actually are very good. The mic is just dick.
Sounds like you're talking from inside a decomposing submarine at the bottom of the Malawan Trench, upside down.
And that's why I don't use that mic anymore.
Yeah. Makes you sound like you're from Quebec, but you moved to like Langley or something.
Whoa, Langley's.
Possibly even Richmond.
Shout out to Richmond, home of Martin Edmonds.
That's basically what I was going for. Which is all Vancouver. I think it's adorable they pretend that they're actually different cities. It's so cute.
Yeah, we get the same thing with Toronto. It's like, I'm from Scarborough, so Toronto. No, Scarborough.
Yeah, no, Toronto.
Actually, same with our Richmond here.
Oh, there are multiple Richmonds?
There is multiple Richmond. We have Richmond Hills.
Oh, I don't know if Richmond even has a hill.
Which is another one of those. Oh, by the way, Felipe Fajea.
Get him, Felipe!
Up on the tail of Joe Racer. Battle for 13th position. Anyways, just to finish off that thought, Richmond Hill, basically part of Toronto, claims it's his own thing.
That is so cute. I'm from Surrey, so Toronto. No, wait, Vancouver.
It's Vancouver.
We're just expecting Toronto to glom out and occupy the entire Canada.
In fact, the whole country will be Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal by the time we're done.
We're not going to build a wall. We're just going to have Toronto move horizontally until it reaches both oceans.
The Toronto Wall of municipality.
It's going to be like the Mega City 1 or something, or Kowloon 3.0.
Mm-hmm. Martin Edmonds putting the pressure on Del Vea, but he's not been able to crack him yet. And we've got some pretty good battles going on throughout the grid. Joe Racer, Felipe Fajea, we saw that not long ago. They're at a good scrap. Lucas Bolewski has done a good job of coming back through the grid. He was 26th and is now back up to 16th. So a quality recovery drive from him.
Dead man's dead. Dead man on the track.
Though the man with probably the most impressive recovery drive still is Yevgeny Lazarenko. Up from 25th on the grid to 12th position. That is 13 spots gained through the course of this race.
And Andy Blade has managed to go all the way from 12th place up to 17th. No, wait, I did my math wrong, didn't I?
He went down.
Oh, man. What's wrong with him? He must be probably horrendously Scottish.
It's possible. Martin Edmonds on the tail of Gerardo Del Vea. Higher up is Vinnie Roberts, still under pressure from the guillotine.
Fatal Flying Guillotine. It was an excellent rap song by Ghetto Sox called I believe it's the Fatal Flying Guillotine.
Whoa, Felipe Fajea a little bit off the track there.
He is drunk as hell. Put the sangria down, sir. Sir, please pull to the side of the road and breathe into this tube.
The Flying Lizard car has been both flying and a little bit out of control during the
More like the
stretch.
marinated lizard, you drunk.
Oh, Gerardo gets wide.
My goodness.
One of the BMWs getting lapped there. I believe that is James Butler.
Boutelier.
Oh, contact!
Oh, he's dead. That guy's dead.
Joe Racer turns around. Felipe Fajea, he'll retain 13th for now, but that may go to the steward's room.
Fuck you, Stuart.
Martin Edmonds, seemingly no longer with the pressure. Race is over. Darcy Parkinson has won the race. Everyone else is just kind of finishing up here. It's going to be Darcy Parkinson winning from Vinnie Roberts. Solid day for Vinnie Roberts.
See.
And also very nice to us in the chat. So there are certain intangible benefits to that. The Guillotine Division 2 on the podium. Gerardo Del Valle, 4th, ahead of Martin Edmonds. The great rivalry continuing there. Vangelis Parginos in 6th place. Jorgen Walby. Sean Kenny, the championship leader, may not be championship leader anymore after this 8th place finish, ahead of Vissar Jacoli and Richard DeRoche. Your Division 3 winner, he is on your screen right now, is Jesse Hampton, following the Flying Lizard of Felipe Fajea to the finish line.
If he starts up his own race team and doesn't call it Hamtown Races, sing this song, doo-dah, doo-dah, I can't help you with life.
Jesse, you've been told.
There's a Brazilian guy, I didn't even notice.
Cristiano Pinheiro.
See.
And a very damaged BMW of James Butler being dragged home. The Ring Taxi, BMW Ring Taxi car.
Yeah, boy.
I actually really like that car. You can see.
I think you should have a race.
Very much
all
missing
black
everything below the bonnet, though. Anyways, rounding off the field, it is John Spriggs who dropped out of the top 10 towards the end of the race ahead of Yevgeny Lazarenko. Fantastic work by Yevgeny. From last to 12th. Very good race. Joe Racer, Felipe Fair, Jesse Hampton, Lucas Bolewski, Andy Blade, Cristiano Pinheiro, James Butler. And that's the race video over.
That is correct. Go away.
Fantastic race, and we'll see you for round 2, Byron, for Monza.
I believe you'd have no choice but to go along with that, yes.